Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Rosa here of Splat Communications and Simplified Strategic Solutions. But before we start, please allow us to make a few requests. Please don't skip ads. This allows us to remain independent. Please subscribe if you have not done so yet. We promote a healthy discourse in the comment section. Just be mindful of the words you choose, as this is a direct reflection of you as a person.
Thanks, partner Rosa. Our video for today is about the visit of President BBM at the New York Stock Exchange together with his cabinet and entourage. Atin pong panoorin ang mga naging kaganapan noon.
A fast-growing economy with an educated and ambitious workforce and meaningful economic reforms are coming together to make the Philippines an attractive destination for investment. And I have to say, looking at today's room, clearly you have gained the attention of business leaders and investors. We at the NYSE enjoy hosting programs like this where we can bring together leaders from the public sector and private sector to share ideas, to build relationships, and ultimately deliver impact. And with today's program, I am confident that we will further strengthen an already great partnership between our markets, between our businesses, between our people, and ultimately between our countries.
Good afternoon, everybody. As a representative of the Philippine business, on behalf of the delegation here today, I want to thank all of you for the invitation to visit the financial center of the universe and touch base with our friends in the American business community. Your warm welcome is strongly felt and greatly appreciated. Personally, I'm really thrilled to be here. So we're here today to support our president and his genuine efforts to revitalize this relationship and remind you of our commitment. We support his efforts to assure you of the integrity, of the stability, and the solidarity of his administration and the Philippine economic system, which is not without wounds, but neither without the determination to heal them. And of course, to unlock the massive economic potential our country has to offer with the help of good friends like you. We live in uncertain times, but in our corner of the world, the Philippines remains one of Asia's fastest growing economies. And with the pandemic now largely out of the way, we're back on the fast track, accelerating out of recovery mode and onto the promising possibilities of the future. Now more than ever, with the dawn of a new era of digital progress and an environment that has never been more enabling and conducive for business, the Philippines is ripe for investment. But most importantly, we have a strong leader with a compelling vision and the political will to realize it. With a unified support of our Congress and the Filipino people, the new Marcos administration is taking a whole of government and nation approach to deliver on its promise to transform our economy. We in the business community believe in this vision. And as our longtime allies and partners, we hope you will too. I've seen many presidents in my lifetime, and they all have their strengths. the one we have today, has quite cleverly gotten 30 of our country's busiest CEOs to voluntarily work for him. I know this because I'm one of them. And as convener of the Private Sector Advisory Council to the President, I have witnessed the ability of this man to bring together the best minds in business, use them to find real solutions to real problems, and then immediately implement them like he was flipping a switch. This is why we work for him, because he listens to reason and gets things done, because he has the humility to seek the help of those who know more in order to provide help to those who need more. This is the kind of decisive, action-oriented leadership we have today. This is the kind of leadership that inspires a nation to believe in its true worth. And this is the kind of inclusive and collaborative leadership that will transform our economy into the next big thing in Asia. I thank you and good afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce to you the President of the Republic of the Philippines, President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr.
Please be seated. Thank you, Secretary Ben Jokno, all the members of the Cabinet of the Philippines, Mr. John Tuttle, the Vice Chairman of the New York Stock Exchange, and for those kind words from Mr. Sabin Aboitis, the convener of the Private Sector Advisory Council. We have also with us the Speaker of the House, House Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romualdez, and our ambassador to the United States, Ambassador Jose Manuel Romualdez. Also with us is our permanent ambassador to the UN, Ambassador Antonio Lagdameo Sr. And I would be remiss if I did not, of course, include in my greetings the First Lady, Lisa Araneta Marcos. Distinguished guests here today, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of the Philippine delegation, I wish to express our gratitude to the New York Stock Exchange for inviting us here today. I consider it an engagement of invaluable opportunity to share with you how we are further opening up our economy to accelerate our recovery. Bouncing back from the pandemic, the Philippine economy has seen robust growth since last year and has returned to its path toward upper middle income country status, achievable, we believe, within the next few years. Against this backdrop, we have increased the scope for mutually beneficial investments that would mean more jobs and a better quality of life for Filipinos. For investors, doing business in the Philippines is an opportunity to reap the benefits of a vibrant economy. We are proud to share that we recently enacted policies to further liberalize our economy and welcome more foreign investment to our shores. First, we passed legislation to lower corporate income tax rates and rationalize fiscal incentives. Second, we reduced the minimum paid-up capital requirements for foreign retailers and foreign startups, bringing in advanced new technology. And third, we now allow full foreign ownership of companies providing public services such as telecommunications, shipping, air carriers, railways, subways, airports, and toll roads. The United States and the Philippines have strong and enduring ties in trade and commerce, among many other areas of cooperation. The U.S. is our third largest trading partner and second major source of foreign direct investment applications in 2021. To international investors, the Philippines offers high-quality labor, a large consumer market, and a wide range of fiscal and non-fiscal incentives. At the same time, we remain committed to maintaining sound macroeconomic fundamentals, providing a clear development roadmap. Let me expound a little bit on these important points. First, sound macroeconomic fundamentals. Our gross domestic product is projected to grow by 6.5 to 7.5% this year, by 6.5 to 8% from 2023 to 2028. The employment situation has improved following the temporary disruption caused by the pandemic. The unemployment spike of 17.6% in April 2020 fell drastically to 5.2% in July this year, the lowest record for all July rounds of our labor force survey since 2005. Manufacturing activity has accelerated, staying above the growth threshold of 50 for the past 7 consecutive months and settling at 51.2 last August. Trade is back to double-digit growth, with demand for trade partners boosting our exports, and with domestically situated firms importing more inputs in anticipation of rising demand. At the same time, with our commitment to fiscal discipline, the country's debt-to-GDP ratio has improved to 62.1% as of end June this year from 63.5% in the previous year. At the height of the COVID-19 crisis, the government implemented massive stimulus programs to readily support the most vulnerable sectors. Although our borrowings increased substantially during the pandemic, we continue to reduce the cost of our public debt through judicious debt management. Now that the economy is reverting to normalcy, the government is likewise heading back to the path of fiscal consolidation. We will reduce the government debt to GDP ratio to below 60% by 2025 and further down to 51.2% by the end of my term in 2028. Our economy's resilience to crises is recognized internationally. The Philippines has maintained its investment-grade credit ratings throughout the pandemic amid the wave of rating downgrades globally. As we look forward to achieving upper middle income status, we are also gearing up for A territory credit ratings in the medium term. On the external front, we have sufficient buffers against external shocks. Supported by steady inflows of overseas Filipino remittances, receipts from business processing, outsourcing, and foreign direct investment, our gross international reserves stood at $99 billion as of end August, equivalent to 8.3 months of import cover. This remains more than sufficient to cover the economy's foreign exchange needs. Moving on to my second point, our economic development roadmap. In the near term, our top priorities are protecting the purchasing power of families by managing inflation, reducing the scarring effects of the pandemic, and ensuring sound macroeconomic fundamentals. Thus, we are implementing policies that enhance food security, transport, reduce energy costs, and logistical costs, strengthen social protection, and enhance the quality of education and skills training of our workers. As we pursue our short-term agenda, we build the foundations for a stronger, more inclusive future. Our medium-term agenda includes reducing the poverty rate to single digits by 2028 and undergoing an industrial transformation through which science, technology, and innovation and sustainability will drive our industries. In all our endeavors, the private sector must be a partner. We seek partnerships in many areas of our development agenda. In public infrastructure, such as mass transit systems, airports, toll roads, in public services, in digitalization initiatives, in the energy development agenda, in efforts to modernize agriculture, and in programs aimed at strengthening our industries, to just name a few. For American businesses, we offer investment opportunities in areas such as information technology and business process management, or IT BPM, medical products and devices, electric vehicles and batteries, agribusiness and telecommunications infrastructure and services. Despite external headwinds, the Philippines' economy's resilience, reinforced by sound policies and decisive leadership, makes us confident about our future. Over the past few decades, as the Philippines transformed into one of the most promising emerging markets, the United States has been among our steady partners. For that, we are truly grateful. At the same time, American companies doing business in the Philippines have benefited significantly from our economic successes. I wish to emphasize that the Philippines is keen to continue nurturing the ties that help produce mutual benefits for both our economies, our organizations, and our peoples. Let us achieve many more milestones together. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and good afternoon to you all.
Wow! Para sa amin, napakagaling mahusay at accurate ang ginawang pagsasalarawan ni Mr. Aboitiz at ni Pangulong BBM sa tunay na estado ng business climate dito sa atin. Magdudulot ito ng mataas at malakas na business potential para sa atin, lalo na ang 100% foreign ownership na binanggit ni PBBM. Tunay na papunta na tayo sa exciting part.
Well, what can you say? Kindly share your thoughts in the comment portion. We have reached the end of today's video. In behalf of my partner Rina and the rest of the Splat Communications and Simplified Strategic Solutions team, thank you. Till next time. Stay safe. Rosa out. Bye.